Okay guys, here I want to do a quick demo how to animate a animated stroke to reveal your some text. Okay, so I'll start with the demo to show you how to do something like this. Okay, let's start with a new project. Okay, so new composition. Let's begin with HD composition 1920 by 1080, and let's name the composition something other than composition 1. Okay, I'll call it SVAD. And the frame rate, make it 24, and the duration should be at least 5 seconds. For project 2, your banner should be at least 5 seconds. It could be longer, but we can totally modify this later, so we'll just make it 5 at this point. Okay, let's hit enter. So we have this composition in HD. Okay, let's do using the font tool, the horizontal type tool. Just click on your composition anywhere you want and type SVAD. Okay, here we go. We have the text. I choose thin alternate. You can use whatever font you prefer, but I recommend to choose something that's cleaner, like more straightforward. You can just test it out, and if it doesn't work, you can feel free to change a different font that you like better. Okay, you can change the color over here, change the size for your text, and you can find all the things for changing your character down the character panel. Okay, and I will go find the alignment tool to align it to the center. Okay, cool. Now we have our SVAD text in the middle of our composition. Okay, the next step, what I would like to do is we will need to break apart on the SVAD, make sure all the letters they are in their individual composition so we can animate them separately. So first step, we right click on the type tool under create shape from text. So literally we will create shapes from text. Okay, so now on this new layer being created, SVAD outline, you can see under content, open the layer by clicking the little menu button from the side. So you can see SVAD there now separate content that they can break apart, but they're still in one like outline layer. So we need to do a little work to break them apart. Okay, so pretty much just copy and paste and delete the thing we don't need. So first of all, let's make a copy, a duplicate of our SVAD layer. So Command D to duplicate. Okay, and then this will be our layer for duplication. We will need to make this composition a little bit smaller, so it's not like HD. We just wanted the size, around the size of that one letter. So we go to composition setting, and then 400 should be big enough, 400 by 400. If your text is bigger or smaller, you don't have to use 400. You can choose whatever fit the size better. Okay, S fit into the square pretty well. Okay, so let's Command D and make more copies. So we need to have at least 4 for each of the letter. Okay, so the first one, hit return. We can rename our layers. Return SV. Okay, return A, and last will be D. Okay, so now it's a little unorganized, so you can always create a folder and name a folder that makes sense, and then you can put your object into the folder, so things will just look more neater in this way. Okay, so now double click on layer on the composition A. So this one should be only A. Okay, so let's open the SVAD outline, open the content. So we'll delete all the other letters but A. Okay, and then let's also change the layer name to A. Also hit return to change the layers, and center it into the middle of the composition. Okay, so we do this for all of the other layer. Double click to open it up. Okay, rename to D. Open it up. Find the one we don't need and delete it, and then align it to the center. Okay, last S. Okay, S. Delete the other and center it to the middle. And last V. Okay, return V. Content, let's find V. Okay, and then center in the middle. Okay, it's not too bad. We did it pretty fast. So we have all individual S, A, D, V, all in the center, in the middle. Okay, cool. Let's go back to the one with the full. Okay, so we will select all our letters and drop it on the top. Okay, so we don't need this outline anymore, but we'll save this for now. Let's turn the opacity a little lower. Okay, so we're just using this as the alignment. So we can now select the individual letter and then align them to match the position for the original text. Okay, and hold shift. If you hold shift, you don't have to worry about the placement vertically. You just need to move it horizontally. Okay, hold shift while you're moving the text. Okay, the background's a little. Okay, so now, yeah, I just kind of toggle to the transparency grid so I can see it a little bit better. Okay, align the V better. Yeah, S looks fine, and I think D looks fine too. Okay, so now we have the text aligned properly on the board we have over here. I'll hide the outline. We don't need the outline anymore. And let me add a background color for this banner. So go to Layer, New, Solid. I'll add a white background for the text. Okay, looks nice this way. Okay, let's done with this. So let's go back to animate the individual letter one by one. So let's start with S. Okay, start with S. Okay, S on. Now we have this black background. I'll just hide it so we can actually see the letter. Okay, first step, we need to create a path, and then we will make this path to be the mask of this letter. Okay, let's use the pen tool to get started, and also double check on the color. So since we're only using the path, we don't really want any fill color. So make sure the fill color is none. If it's not none, click on fill, then you can choose none. Okay, and then the stroke color, you can choose any color that works for you. I'll choose, like, I don't know, a bright yellow. So it'll be obviously not red and not like gray in the background. Okay, so I'll start from the top and then just draw a path. Okay, to make sure it cover all the red of the shape. So see, this part is not covered, so you have to modify your stroke. Make sure it's going to fully cover your whole path. Okay. Can do a little better on the smoothen the path. Okay, so I'll modify it a little bit, make it a little bit smoother. Okay, so if your path is too thin, like this, obviously it's not covering the whole text. So you can increase the path width and make sure the path is fully cover the whole path here. Okay, now it's a little smoother, so increase the width so it will cover the text fully. Okay. Okay, if you feel like the shape of the end of the text is a little weird, like that, it's not smooth. Okay, I think you can find it under the shape layer, and then if you go to shape, stroke, like the line cap, you can change it to round cap. so it will be a little bit more rounded. I think the edge will look a little bit neater. Okay, so okay, minor information. Okay, so if that bothers you, you can find it under the line cap, under the stroke. Okay, so here is our shape. We don't really need the fill color, so we can remove that to make it a little bit cleaner. So we have this path, this yellow path over here. That will be the mask. But since it's just like a full mask, so it won't be animated. So first of all, we need to add this trim path. Okay, if you don't see this, if you only see the whole layer like this, just open up the menu, and open. Okay, when you open the menu, you will see Add. Okay, on the side. So click on Trim Path. Okay, when you have the trim path turned on and added in your path layer, if you open it up, you will see the start and end. So if you change the value over here, you can see now the path could be animated this way. Okay, so you can play around with the end or the start and find which one you would use. Okay, let's worry about this in a little bit. Next, before we adding keyframe, let's actually make this shape layer. Let's name it differently. So that's a mask for letter S. Okay, S. So now this is the actual text, the red text. So you have to make sure the mask is on top of the layer you want to be masked. So here, the track matte option is where you apply it, the mask option. If you don't see it, you can right-click anywhere on this tab here, anywhere, or next to layer name, right-click. You see column and check modes. Make sure modes are checked. If it's not checked, you don't see anything. So make sure modes are checked. So you will see under track matte, TRT matte, and we want to select the track matte under S and make it alpha matte. Okay, so you can see earlier on the yellow is our mask is fully cover the whole red S. So when we use alpha matte, since the part that they overlap will be revealed. Okay, so this is how the alpha matte work. Okay, and then you can see the mask. Now the visibility is turned off automatically. Okay, since it's a mask, it shouldn't be seen. So now let's go back to our content under trim paths where we added here earlier. Now when we modify our and value, so this is what we wanted it. When the S, the beginning of the letter S, the end value should be 0. So no text is seen. And maybe a second or a couple seconds later, the value should go from 0 to 100. So our text reveal like this. Okay, so to add a keyframe, before we add a keyframe, I just want to go over really quickly. You can see which one you should use, either start or end. There's not really a correct answer. It really depends on when you use the pen tool. Did you start the path from the top or did you start the path from the bottom? So you can see if I make the start value start with 100, and then you can see the stroke start from the bottom instead of the top. If that's something you're going for, then you need to animate the start. If you want the stroke to go from the top to the beginning, then you need to animate the end, in my case. Okay, so first step, I'll make sure your playhead is placed in the beginning of the timeline, which is 000 in the very beginning. And then by clicking the little clock, we add a first keyframe when the end value is 0. Okay, so let's move our playhead to maybe around a second. And then we will increase the value to 100. Okay, so yeah, we just have our animation finished. Okay, so I'll move this preview closer to a second so we can see it looping a little bit faster. Okay, so just a little tip for you to make this a little bit more interesting. You can see the animation right now there, it's just consistent. The speed is all the same. What if you want the text on the stroke to go a little faster and then slow down in the end, or it's like slower in the beginning and then speed up a little bit? So just add a little more dynamic. So if you want to add that to change the speed of the transition that After Effects created, simply just select your keyframe. And if you click on this graph editor, it will take you to this view. Okay, so you can see now the graph is it's just a straight line. It means the time and the value from 0 to 100 of the end value, it's consistent. So the speed is all the same from the bottom to the end. Okay, so we need to add a little more, some curve here. Okay, so simply by selecting the last keyframe, we can add an easy ease by clicking the graph. So now we have this behavior bar that we can mess around. So you can see if I make the curve a little more dramatic. So now you can see the speed will speed up much faster in the beginning, and then it will slow down in the end. So let's see how that's look. So see, it's a little faster and then slow down a little bit in the end. Okay, if you just want to be more, even more dramatic, you can see super fast and then slow down. Okay, and the other hand, if you move it on the other direction, you can see it's slow in the beginning and then speed up in the end. Okay, so either way, like that you feel that you prefer. I'll keep it this way. It's a little bit faster in the beginning and slow down in the end. Okay, so let's stop over here for now.